I'm going to talk very freely in this video. I'm going to talk about suicide, psychosis, and whatever else comes out of my mouth. So, a couple months ago, my little brother killed himself, which is absolutely ass to have to say out loud, even months later. It is a weird experience grieving someone. It is a weird experience having to accept that this is a problem that I can't fix. Even with my own depression, when I was dealing with it so heavily, I saw it as a problem to fix and I was so active about it and I lost years of my life, but I also learned so much and I did come out of it. I have this mentality that no matter how hard something is, no matter what your goal is, you keep pushing at it, you're gonna figure it out, no matter how many years it takes. And that's something my little brother tried to do for himself before he took his own life. He took his own life on August 6th. Our family found out August 8th. Horribly enough, my birthday was a week later. Um, and then 3 days after my birthday, we buried him. So it's like 10 days. And in those 10 days, that was the longest 10 days of my life. And these past couple months that have felt like the longest and shortest months at the same time. I feel like it just happened yesterday. But then you realize, oh, 4 months has gone by. Grieving sucks, dude. Like, yeah, it's ass. Basically, my brother wasn't himself anymore for months. He dealt with psychosis one time when he was like 17, and he got through that. It was just like a blimp in his life. And then years later, it starts happening again. And I'm thinking, oh, it's just going to be another blimp. But this time he is over 18, so nobody could tell him to go to the doctor. Nobody could tell him to take medication. Nobody could tell him to do anything. And when he finally did, it was inconsistent. And he dealt with paranoia. And when you talk to him, he sounds okay and everything seems fine. But then the longer you talk to him, the longer you see the paranoia, the more you see the memory loss. Like he'd forget things like his phone password, like a 4-digit password he's been entering for years. He forgot that. But then he thought that's like someone changed, like the CIA or something changed it. And then, of course, there's days where he's clear, but he's dealing with the frustration and the awareness of knowing that, oh, I have something going on with my brain that lets me like lose all control of my body, makes me lose all control of my sense of being. All these people are telling me that I did this and that, and I have no recollection of it. I can imagine for me personally, it damn near feel like someone taking over your body, and then you wake up just long enough to get a glimpse of finding out that, oh, shit is going wrong, and then you lose control of your brain again. And I think that's the first part I had to accept. Seeing how hard he was trying to be healthy, how hard he was trying to figure out his sleep schedule, what he ate, how much sun he got, everything he's supposed to be doing to take care of himself. He really tried. Like he really tried to be as good as possible about regaining his life back. And I think one day it was a mixture of his frustration and a mixture of dealing with psychosis that he decided to take his own life. I'm sure as like I talk about my brother more, as I move through my life with him in mind and how I want to carry out my life, it was definitely someone who wanted to make the most of everything. At his funeral, a lot of people talked about how he influenced them, and I learned so much about how he was mentoring kids through these programs to learn how to make videos, and he really tried to help people around him in whatever way he could. This whole situation makes me want to be as present as possible in my daily life. Whatever I'm doing, I wanted to have purpose. I had quit my job in the beginning of the year because I just felt this feeling like if this is the rest of my life, like I'm going to make whatever amount of money I'm going to make, have whatever amount of things I'm going to have, and still feel like I'm not doing something fulfilling. Like, why did I learn such a hard skill if I'm not going to use it to help people in some type of way? If my final pursuit in life is just simply making money, then that's just a sad feeling. Like, I don't want to have kids. I don't really care for kids, honestly. But I just learned how much my little brother contributed to the world in the time that he was here, even while he was going through all this stuff. And we've all contributed something to people's lives without even realizing, good or bad. No matter how frustrating this is, one of the things I want to get out of it is the fact that obviously I need to be very grateful for my life, which I am, which I was, but also just the idea of being grateful for your body and your mind, and how lucky you are that those things just work how they should. Because nothing about how my brother was carrying his life screamed, hey, you should start dealing with psychosis now. Why? We don't know. Your brain just decided to do that. Now you're going to have to deal with that. That's how fast something bad can happen to you. And some of us, of course, are going to get sick or are going to die. But when my time comes, I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, wow, I wish I did this or I wish I did that. No matter what I do, I want to feel as if it was fulfilling and I was chasing something meaningful and I affected people's lives in a positive way. Because the way my brother was dealing with being sick, even through losing his literal mind, like he was still trying his hardest to be present in the world and trying his hardest to make the most of his days, and understood I had to take care of myself before I go back out into the world. And I hope that whoever is watching this, if you've made it this far to this video, I hope that wherever you are at, you can sit with yourself and figure out what it is that makes you happy, what it is that you care about. If it's making a shit ton of money and just traveling the world and buying something that genuinely makes you happy and that's it, that's great. If it's living in a 1-bedroom apartment for the rest of your life and just getting by with bills, but you're happy because that allows you to, I don't know, ride all day or hang out with your dog or whatever the fuck the case is, that is also great. Whatever your version of a perfect life and a fulfilling life is, I think it's not even a matter of like, oh, someone has it worse. Just don't forget how lucky you are, especially if you live in the West. I'm sorry, I had to add that. Especially if you live in the Western world, just don't forget how lucky you are. Whatever thing you're trying to do with your life, be willing to chase that forever long until you get there. Stop setting limits for yourself of when. Like, I just moved back home because I need to be with family. But the world says, oh, if you're 28, you should be living by yourself in, I don't know, in New York or something or whatever. I'm here because I need to be around my family. I'm here because I need a break from the world. And I'm here because I'm working on something that matters to me. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm going to keep trying. Some people, unfortunately, will lose someone and have to go to work 3 days later or a week later. And that's like a very unfair world that we live in. I knew a long time ago I had to figure out what my support system is going to look like. I knew a long time ago that some things weren't working, and I've inched my way up to being mentally stable enough to handle this in a way where I'm not going to hurt myself. I hope everyone is doing it well. If you need any help with anything, message me or message someone who you could talk to. All right. I will be making more videos in the coming year. I hope. I will. I have to. I want to. All right, here we go.